It's Tootsie Tuesday and we're making stick of butter rice with chicken. So this is going to be a one-pan meal. If you're from the South, you've probably already heard of stick of butter rice. It's been years since I've made it. But now people are just like adding in other things and making it a one-pan meal. So I got this recipe from Miranda. Stay classy. Y'all know Miranda. Her son made this. This is Kaden's recipe for the stick of butter rice. Hey, Kaden. So like I said, we're going to keep it simple, easy, one-pan meal. So we're going to start by spraying our pan, cutting the recipe in half because there's only 3 of us eating tonight. I don't even know what size this is. Maybe like a 9x9, okay? So I'm just going to spray it really good. Preheat my oven to 425. I'm going to tag her below, so if you want to go watch Kaden make this, because he does double this recipe. So that way if you're making it for a larger family, then you will want to use that much. But anyway, so we're going to get started. Everything's going to be right in this pan, okay? So I'm going to do 1.5 cups of rice. About 1.5 cups. And Miranda did mention in her video that they changed up the recipe because they thought it was a little too salty. They used French onion and golden mushroom, of course, doubled the recipe, okay? All right, so to my 1.5 cups of rice, I'm gonna add 1 golden mushroom. We gotta get it all out of there. And don't come for me about this not being healthy. I know that it's not healthy, okay? But it's good. I know it's gonna be good if Miranda's making it. And it's simple and easy, and that's what we like. We're going to add 1 can of French onion and then 1 can of water. This is what they substituted. They took out a can of the cream of condensed and added water just because she said that it was a little too salty. So another tip they said is to go ahead and bake it, and then if it needs seasoning, you can add that, but not to add it to begin with because you may think it's a little too salty. Then I have some rotisserie chicken. I don't know how much, it's just chicken. Add how much ever you desire, how much ever your heart desires. You can add mushrooms to this. One thing that I really like is after they bake this, Kaden added cheese to the top of it, and I love cheese. We love cheese here around here, so I'm gonna be adding that as well. Okay, so I'm not gonna use all of this, about half of that. I'd probably say that's like 1.5 cups of chicken if you need measurements. Let's give it a good mix. And I know the original recipe for stick of butter rice calls for beef consomme, and that's probably where the saltiness come in because beef consomme is a lot richer. So you can make this your own. Use whatever you like. If you don't want to use the golden mushroom, use beef consomme. But I'm gonna stick to what they did because they said it was good, and I trust that. And most people kind of do the plaits, but I'm just gonna stick the butter down in there. That's how I remember it back in the day, that when people would make the stick of butter rice, that was just another easy part of it because let's be honest, it's gonna melt. It's gonna melt throughout and we're gonna mix it again. So I'm just gonna plop that down. Okay, so we've got our oven on 425 and we're gonna cover this tightly and bake it for probably about 40 or 45 minutes covered. Love a recipe that just takes a couple minutes to throw together. Now the bacon part is gonna take a little longer. It's probably gonna have to cook for about 1.5 hours total with it covered and then uncovered. That was 425 for 40 minutes. Let's check it. Ooh, it's hot. Okay. So I'm gonna stir it and then I'm gonna top it with cheese and we're gonna put it back in for 30 minutes uncovered. All those juices mixed in there and the rice stirred up. You don't want any clumps. And I am gonna taste it before I add the cheese because if it does need seasoning, this is where I'm gonna add it. To be honest with you, I'm not even exaggerating. This smells amazing. Like, needs nothing. I'm just using this. It's a triple cheddar blend. I've seen recipes where they use like a Parmesan cheese, I think it is. I don't know. Anyway, so I think Kaden used the whole bag for the 9x13, so I'm probably gonna use half of this bag. Just use how much ever cheese that you feel is necessary. So I'm just gonna top that and we're gonna pop it back in. And it almost feels like a crime to go to the grocery store anymore because the price of everything. So I wanted to tell you that $6 rotisserie chicken, we're gonna get 2 meals out of that because this is what I have left. So I'm gonna make some chicken salad. I let it cook on for about 30 minutes. I'd say probably cook it about 20 minutes because the cheese is a little more brown than I'd like, but that's okay, it's still gonna be good. Let's let it cool off and taste it. I'm gonna give it a taste. I do think I needed something green. I should have made us a vegetable to go with it, but it's done now, so let's give it a try. I went ahead and mixed it all together because, warning, cook it for about 20 minutes, okay? Just watch your cheese. I cooked mine a little too long. Mm. That's good. And I will say it's good with or without the cheese. If you don't want to add the cheese, that first bite I took is good. That hits the spot, honey.